Hello. So we are just live for a short moment. We are going to celebrate the latest release from a new author. On Twitch, you'll find her as Mama Rednax, and I strongly suggest you go check her out. She's a fun gaming streamer. And now she's a fun author. So I am excited. She came in and was kind enough to share her new release. She's releasing it on Inkitt. You got the first 3 chapters if you want to go over there right now. I will leave that in the description below at the end of the live. But if you want to look for it, it's called Midnight's Embrace, and it's by Rednax. And it's just awesome. I believe I've read the first chapter on my stream at another time, but we're going to read it today for all of you so that you guys can go and check it out. And I'm excited. I always love it when any author gets to that goal. It's one of my favorite things. Like we start out with the words on the page, and then we get this completed beautiful piece of awesomeness. I'm just going to read the first chapter. Then I want you guys to look at the description when I go offline. Go down there, click on the link, and go read the rest of it. Every Sunday, once a week, you'll get another chapter. So it'll be 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time on Sundays, or Eastern Time for whatever time of the year it is. So 10 a.m. you'll be able to get a new chapter to add to this. And I promise once you get through the first 3 chapters, you're going to want the rest of them. So definitely make sure that you like it. Add it to your reading list on Inkitt. Inkitt has got so many good stories, but this one's the one you're going to get hooked on. I'm sure of it. So starting with chapter 1, I'm going to go ahead and read the whole thing for you. You see it on the screen next to me. And read along. It'll be fun. I do have just one more thing I want to bring up. I'm going to put this in the chat for you. So that if you want to bring it up on your screen to read it a little easier, go for it. All right, chapter 1. I take a deep breath and let it out slowly as I readjust my grip on the wheel. I have to get this job. Been to every other business in town, and either they know my father or I'm not qualified. I can do this. I give myself one more pep talk before I get out of my parents' car. It's been a living hell having to move back in with my parents. At 30 years old, I should have been more than capable of providing for myself. But thanks to Charlie, my ex-husband, I have 0 work experience. Being a stay-at-home wife doesn't qualify you for anything but homelessness. I put on a happy face, steel up my spine, and set about heading into the small boutique. The crystal cabinet looks like a consignment shop threw up on it. In the little boutique is full of brim to the brim with stuff and shelves haphazardly layered with what I can only describe as junk. But I know this place has been around for years, so it must sell. Come in, child," an older woman yells as she rushes toward me. "What can I show you today?" Actually, I was here about. I can't finish my statement because she has taken me by the hand and is dragging me to a counter full of jars and filled with stuff. "You are in need of a love potion. Is that it? Pinna knows these things, you know," she says as she continues thumbing through the bottles. "Miss Boudreau, I stress, trying to get her attention. Miss Bourgeois, I'm here about the paper and the ad. Ad? She asks, stopping what she is doing and looking back at me with the Coke glass lenses on her old cat eye frame style. You want me to add what now? Let out a frustrated sigh. For the job, Miss Boudreau. Says you're looking for an assistant? That finally registers, and Miss Boudreau turns and looks me over, adjusting her glasses as she does. Oh, why didn't you just say so, girl? She scolds. I can still get you that love potion, you know. Miss Boudreau, I say, my voice tight with frustration. I don't need a love potion, I need a job. She reaches out and takes my hand in both of hers. Oh, dearie, everyone needs love, just as much as we need air to breathe. She gives my hand one last squeeze before letting go. There are potions for anything, any and everything, she says, turning back to the jars we were just talking about now. They've been labeled in the past, but I can't ever remember what they all were. I take a slow breath in and let it out slowly. She looks back at me and smiles sweetly, stepping back over next to me and patting my cheek with her old withered hand. It's surprisingly warmer than I would have expected, and the move catches me off guard. We'll talk later about the love potion, she says. Give me one last pat. Now, over here, she says, moving the table covered with homemade candles. These ward off evil spirits. We'll get you one of those too, dearie. You can never be too careful when it comes to spirits. Miss Boudreau, I say, with my voice tight again, I need this job, please. The begging hurts, but at this point, I am that desperate. So desperate that I may just crack and be as loony as Miss Boudreau. Yes, you pay attention now, darling, so you learn where everything is. She takes me by the hand, and we shuffle our way through books that are stacked in the walkway. Now, books. Those are the those that are out here are fine to go home with anyone. But these, she says, as she pulls me to a cupboard that is beautiful metalwork across the front, locking the books behind them. These only go when their owner walks in. How do I know who the owner is? I ask, truly puzzled by what she means. You'll know, and so will they, she says cryptically. Miss Boudreau, do I have the job? I try to keep hope out of my voice, but I might as well have just vomited a rainbow. She nods, walks over to the glass counter, now filled with a bunch of stuff. There are so many things I don't know where to look first. You'll be working days with evenings off, she tells me while rummaging through the basket filled with rocks. Relief washes over me. Finally, a break. You'll need to be here at 3 to learn where everything is, and it will be every day at 8 except Sundays. We're closed then. Oh, and we're closed for the full moon every month. You'll need a lunar calendar to keep track of your days. That strikes me as a bit odd, but then there's something very odd about Miss Boudreau. So I guess it makes sense. Now let me see, she says, raffling through a bunch of papers that are stacked behind the counter. Where are my notes? Ah, she finally says, here they are. Read over these, familiarize yourself with what they are and what they used to be used or what they are used for. I nod, taking a little notebook she hands me. It's a journal of some sort, and the pages stuffed with extra notes and other things. When do I start? I ask as I flip through the pages. Did you not hear me, girl? Miss Boudreau scolds. Be back at 3, and then every day except Sundays and the full moon. I nod. Gotcha. I'll be back at 3 then. She nods and rummages through piles of paperwork again, completely ignoring me. Okay, Miss Boudreau, I'll see you at 3, I tell her. She doesn't acknowledge me. Right then, I mutter to myself, heading back out to my parents' car. I toss the book into the passenger seat and breathe a sigh of relief. One problem down, only 99 more to go. When I get home, my mother is sitting in the kitchen peeling potatoes and getting dinner ready for my father when he gets home at 7. It's been this way my whole life. My father works, my mother tends to the house and children. My siblings have all grown up, gotten married, had families of their own, and most importantly, have been to church every Sunday and Wednesday, or whenever they're supposed to be serving. I haven't set foot in a church since I moved out 15 years ago. Moving back in with my parents meant I had to follow suit, even if I disagreed with the theology. It's not that I'm an atheist. I believe in God. Just happen to think my parents are brainwashed by their sect of religion. Not that it really matters. They still made it a requirement to move back in with in moving back in with them. There you are. Where have you been all day? My mother clucks at me. Your father is not going to be happy to hear you've been gallivanting off all day, failing to do your portion of the household work, young lady. My mother is the only person I know who can ridicule you to your face and not be rude about it. It's job hunting, mother, not gallivanting. And I finally found something too. I start this afternoon at 3. I don't know why I told her that, and I cringe as I wait for the passive aggressive remarks I know she's going to say. If you paid as much attention to your home life as you do your incessant need to challenge what God designed for you, you would be happy like your sister. That's nice, mother, but I'm not going to live here for the rest of my life. In the real world, that requires a job. I say, walking past her to go up to my room. I know what she's doing as I walk away. She's praying a silent prayer that God will open my eyes. I close the door, drop all my stuff on the dresser before flopping onto the bed closest to me. My mother insists that I keep both beds made and the room free of clutter in case they have missionaries come to town that need a place to stay. Where will they leave? Where will that leave me? I have no idea, which is why I am desperate to get a job and move out of this place. I lay there for a few minutes before the ingrained guilt began to eat at me. Huffing at my weak will, I go back to the kitchen in order to help my mother with dinner. So, the link is in the chat. If you are as excited to get through the next 2 chapters, which I can tell you, oh, apparently I still have to sign in. I can tell you I love this. The great thing about Inkitt is that we, as readers, can go in the bottom and actually tell the author what we think of it. So I'm going to be telling her how much I love this and telling Rednax that I am looking forward to the rest of the book. And I will be back here on this page at 10 a.m. Eastern Time to catch the next chapter. All right, my friends. Celebrate with me. Click on the link in the description. Go congratulate Rednax on the latest release. Just congratulate on the first chapter. Just leave a comment. And let's celebrate a fellow author launching their career together. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next celebration video.